Hi everyone, it's me Mila and welcome to my pregnancy vlog. I am no longer pregnant, yay! As a lot of you know, I had my baby girl last week, 11 days ago, so she is 11 days old, OMG, and those days have gone by fast already, and oh my gosh, she's just changing so much every day. It's just amazing how much they change every day. But anyway, I wanted to make this my labor and delivery video so that I can tell you guys, you know, about my experience with labor and delivery. I left a video, let's see, on Monday, February the 27th. Was it Monday? Yeah, February 27th, and in that video, it should be the video prior to this one in my video list. Anyway, in that video, I explained that I went to the hospital and they sent me home. I was 2.5 centimeters dilated, and they sent me home, whatever. So this video is a piggyback from that video because, let's see, I told you guys in that video that I started contractions at like 2:40 a.m. on Monday the February 27th. And okay, so let's get to this one. I guess this is kind of like a part 2 of that one. So on that Monday, after I got sent home, I went home and took you know, went to sleep with the Ambien. I woke up after an hour and let's see, I just had contractions for the rest of the night. And my friend came over and she helped me time my contractions. And Levy came over as well. So we had paper and pen, and we had all of these times from 6:44 p.m. to about 9:54 p.m. we were timing contractions. So at 6:44 p.m. and on, the contractions, they went from like 4 to 6 minutes to 4 minutes. They just were like up and down. 4 minutes, 8 minutes, 7 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes. You know, in the 7 o'clock area, it was like 3 minutes every 7 minutes, every 5 minutes. We started getting a rhythm. The contractions started coming, of course, you know, more frequently and more harder, excruciating harder. So they came, you know, 6 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. So I was getting really worried. You know, this is my first child. They told me to wait, you know, until their contractions are 5 minutes apart, and they last for 1 minute, and time it, you know, for an hour. And so that's what we did. But actually we started at 6:44, and I think I called the doctor at like, it's probably like 9 o'clock. So I called my doctor at 9, and I said, you know, I'm having these contractions again, and they're like every 4, 5, and 6 minutes apart. And she told me to go ahead and go to the hospital if she thought I was ready, if I just couldn't take it anymore. I was like, hell no, I can't take it anymore. Going into the hospital. So and let me tell you guys, I know in the previous video I told you guys that when I dilated 2.5 centimeters that my contractions were very they hurt. Well, you know, the closer they got, the stronger they came. These contractions were out of control. I had to, it was really hard for me to breathe through them. I tried to breathe through them, but a lot of times I just like held my breath trying to get through them. And the 1 minute that they lasted, like a minute 30 seconds or whatever, was like the longest period of time. It was like the longest minute I have ever experienced, okay, with pain. It was bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you, but for me, it was bad. So anyway, we got to the hospital. It was probably about 10 o'clock, maybe 10:30, and I went in. it was crazy because when we got there, you know, the little person comes out and they bring you the wheelchair. So I got on the wheelchair, and he rolled me in, and there was like some kind of stone, like on the concrete that he was, you know, wheeling me into the emergency room on before we actually got into the emergency room. And rolling on that stone hurt. It, you know, I was like, oh my gosh, you need to take it slow, dude, because these stones, they hurt. I'm having contractions here and they're not comfortable. But anyway, we went on in, and I was literally like lifting up off of the wheelchair like this, like with my contractions. I was like, oh God, I was like, oh. But yeah, they were very painful. So anyway, so I was, you know, anxious to find out how far I had dilated. You know, from 2.5 at 3 a.m. in the morning, how much I had dilated. So anyway, went to a labor delivery room. But before I did that, you know, I went to the little desk and told them who I was. And they remembered me from early that morning. And they looked at me and they said, okay, now you're in labor. Now you're ready to have a baby. Because of how I was looking and how I was like breathing and not able to talk through my contractions. They were like, now you're ready to have a baby. That other thing this morning, no, we knew that you were going to go home. So anyway, went to the room, and as soon as I put on my gown, and as soon as I climbed into the bed, my water broke. So they did not have to break my water. My water broke on its own. I felt a trickle when I was taking off my clothes. It was before I got into bed, when I was taking off my clothes to change into my gown, it was like the longest period of time ever, because I was having a very deep contraction when I was doing that, and it lasted like a very long time. So anyway, hold on a second. Okay, so I'm sorry if I'm saying and still I'm having post-pregnancy brain now. So, sorry guys, I think it stays with me, or stays with you after pregnancy. So anyway, so the lady, one of the nurses came in and she was like, you know, has your water broken yet? And I was like, no, but I just actually felt a little trickle, unless that was some remnants of my pee, because I had just used the bathroom. I said, I have no idea. So anyway, when I sat in the bed, as soon as I sat in the bed, I just felt like a whole gush of water, and it was like, it felt like a river, like actually, it was just, and it kept coming like, it was a lot of water. I mean, a lot of water. And as soon as, you know, that water was released, I said, okay, now I think my water just broke. Now I think it broke, because it keeps coming and gushing. And I was like, I am so sorry. Because I thought I was messing up the floor, messing up their bed or whatever. Although I know that's what labor delivery rooms are for, but still, it's just weird when you feel yourself leaking water in the bed, okay, and you're just sitting in it. It's weird. So anyway, that was that, and let me see. Yeah, water broke. Contractions came even more stronger, and let me tell you guys. These contractions really, really are unexplainable. They checked my cervix. I was dilated to 5. So I labored at home until I was 5 centimeters. And it hurt, like really, really bad. Like I said, it feels like a really, really bad menstrual cramp. I mean, out of this world menstrual cramp. Times 1,000 menstrual cramp. In the lower back, pelvis, everything, you feel it. So anyway, I told him I wanted an epidural. Guys, for all my natural ladies, you know, with no medications, I give you props. Yeah, but this one, I couldn't take it for the team. I had to get an epidural. I thought my pain tolerance was high, but this really taught me that my pain tolerance is not high. Okay, but I did labor at home till I was 5 centimeters, so I think I did pretty good. Okay. So, yeah, I could not take it anymore. So I got an epidural, and the epidural did not take at first. I was still really feeling the contractions. And then they did something else, and then it was like smooth from there. So what, I don't know, what they had adjusted the epidural or something, I don't know, because I really, like, they kept turning me or something, and I really felt a lot of pressure on my left side. So anyway, that was that with the epidural. And let's see, after I got the epidural, I mean, I just didn't feel anything, and it was just wonderful. It was so wonderful. Now mind you guys, I had been up since 2:40 a.m. Monday morning, okay, and now it's like 11 p.m. Monday night. So I hadn't got any sleep. I got that 1 hour sleep with the Ambien, but that's it. I hadn't got any more sleep at all. Tired. So when I got the epidural, I went to sleep. Okay, so let me see. I'm trying. I think I'm gonna do a part 2 of this video because I know I'm long-winded. But I'll stop in a few minutes and probably do a part 2. So anyway, got the epidural. Yeah. And fell asleep. Next thing I know, I guess a couple hours later, because it was like, I think at like 12 o'clock, the nurses rush in. They rush in, they check my cervix, and they say, yep, she's dilated. She's fully dilated. So I was dilated to 10. Okay, I didn't even know because I was asleep. I'm feeling really good with the epidural. So they rushed in there, and they rushed in and they gave me oxygen. They said, we're gonna have to give you oxygen, dear, because the baby's heart rate went up. I think it went up. Her heart rate went up. So they gave me oxygen, and I was like, I was a little bit out of it because, the epidural. So I was like, okay. So they just told me, take the oxygen and breathe deep, breathe heavy, breathe in and out, inhale, exhale really hard or deep or whatever, and, make sure that the baby has oxygen. So I did that, and my doctor came in. I was so glad to see her. My doctor came in and she was like, you ready to have a baby? And I was like, yeah. So it was on from there. Let me see. Let's see. I pushed for 3, let's see, it was like 3 intervals of 3 10 counts. So I pushed three different times. So my pushing, I think it probably took maybe about 20 minutes for her to come, for Kennedy to come. So yeah, I pushed one, and they counted to 10. Push again, count to 10, push again, count to 10, and then you get a little break, and then you start the whole thing over again. Okay, in sets of 3, and then you start the whole thing over again in sets of 3. So I did that 3 times, and she was obviously ready to come out because she came. And when she came out, the cord was wrapped around her neck, and so they had to get that unraveled. But when she came out, when they got that taken care of, she was just screaming and crying, and it was the most beautiful thing I had ever heard in my life. And so let me stop this video right now, and I'm gonna go to part 2 and share the rest of this story with you. So just hang in there, and I'll see you in the next video.